You're watching Pacifica Live. Dial 866-224-5422 to join in on the fun. Hello, good evening. It's Melinda Pollard, your Community Relations Director with Pacifica, and I am here at Pacifica Live tonight. You have caught us at a good time because we come on the air every other Monday at 7 p.m., and this is your Monday, so congratulations, you made it to the beginning of the week. So just wanted a quick shout out to our guests from last week, Pedigo Bicycle Shop. Kyle and Grego over there were our gracious guests. We had a ton of fun. If you didn't catch them, make sure you get to their grand opening event. I don't know if they're calling it a grand opening, but it's a really fun event. Food truck, lots of fun, tons of bikes. If you've never ridden a Pedigo bicycle, you need to get to the Pedigo Bicycle Shop right here in Boca. I wish I had their address off the top of my mind, but you can Google them. You can find them on Instagram. And they are having their event on March 13th at 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So go have some fun. Thank you again to Kyle and Grego. And I would be remiss if I did not say Happy International Women's Day. I happen to be a woman. I promise. And so happy International Women's Day to all of the lovely ladies out there who are strong and continuing to push on, even during this year 2021, after we got done with the year 2020 and all of the other thousands of years that women have been doing their thing. So bravo to you, women. Love you so much and continue to be your awesome self. Okay. All righty. Moving right along, this is also National Social Workers Month. So as our month goes on, we'll be bringing a social worker on air to talk about what they do, some of the changes that have happened over the last couple years in the healthcare industry. So stay tuned for that, and also stay tuned for all of the goodies that Pacifica is going to be giving out to the social workers here in South Florida. Lots of exciting things coming up for that. All righty. Alrighty. Also would like to talk about all of our communities, by the way, because I am housed at Pacifica Forest Trace, which is in lovely, beautiful Inverary, 72 sprawling acres of protected cypress reserve. Beautiful. If you've never come to tour, you want to make sure you get your tour in because it is nothing like you've ever seen when it comes to senior living. The walking trails, the lake, the beautiful theater clubhouse, the pool with the oversized chessboard, just a beautiful community. So make sure you get your tour in today. Also, we have our Sunrise community, which has got a lot of really new things happening over there. If you've never been there, you also want to check them out. We also have our Lantana community and our Palm Beach community in Green Acres. So guys, I know many of you are not as familiar with Pacifica as a footprint here in South Florida, as they do have a newer footprint here. However, they have communities to assist with whatever you need. All right. So no matter what your budget is, no matter what your need is, whether it be independent living, assisted living, memory care, Pacifica has something for everyone. Also stay tuned for a placement resource that we have that will assist those who are working with a patient or a client. And instead of necessarily having to reach out to a placement counselor, which we love our placement counselors too, by calling Pacifica directly, not only will we be able to assist them with one of our communities, but we will also help get them to the right place, even if one of our communities is not a good fit or there's no availability. So stay tuned for that. All of those numbers are forthcoming, but I wanted to give an opportunity to announce that that's coming shortly. Obviously, I just got here 2 weeks ago. For all of you who know me, you know, I just got here about 2 weeks ago. This is my third week. But we're really excited for all of the new things that are coming out so that you can understand who Pacifica is, that each community has its own little snowflake imprint. Not one Pacifica community is the same as the rest, and that's what makes us so unique. So while you have the Pacifica Forest Trace with the sprawling 72 acres, then you have our standalone memory care in Palm Beach, and you have our other communities that even help for the assisted living and memory care, like at Sunrise and Lantana. So stay tuned for all of those new announcements coming up for all of our communities, and make make sure that you've connected with us. What you'll also see as the shows go on, you will see other Pacifica associates joining me here on camera. So that may be some of the lovely ladies at Forest Trace or Sunrise or Lantana or Palm Beach. And our goal is for you to get to know us and get to know who we are, so that when you're making that referral to us, you can be certain that you are dealing with people that you know, like, and trust. And I think you'll like all of us pretty much, right? All righty. All right. One of the events, we also want to make sure that we give you an opportunity to hear some of the events happening at Pacifica on Wednesday, September. Did I tell you it was Monday? It's Monday. We're not in September. We are in March. So on Wednesday, March 17th, Forest Trace, we're having our St. Patty's Day event in concert with First Atlantic Healthcare, Trustbridge Hospice, also WellCare Rehabilitation, who is a long-standing partner in the Forest Trace building over, I think, like 20 years. Have been there providing therapy services to our residents. They work in concert with us to provide the best care for our independent and our assisted living. If we could put that flyer back up real quick. So from 11:30 to 1 p.m., it is a drive-through event, but we're talking about fish and chips, shepherd's pie, whiskey bread pudding. It is going to be an all-out Irish shebang, a St. Patty's Day event to write down in the books for 2021, because it's a drive-through event. But if you would like to join us, make sure you RSVP to 954-543-1330, and we need those RSVPs by the 12th, which is this week, okay? And then next week, we're going to welcome you onto our lovely campus so that you can get your shepherd's pie, your fish and chips, and your whiskey bread pudding, and you're going to get the DJ and a lot of cool little giveaways. So we really, really are excited to be able to have something on campus again, kind of normalize things just a little bit while we are still socially distanced and safe. All righty? All right. I wanted to see all the things we're going to go. Oh, I'm so excited, guys, today. Make sure you stay tuned for the whole show. We are rolling out a new segment called The Person I've Always Been. The Person I've Always Been. This is a resident interview series. For any of you who have caught resident interview series before that I've hosted, then you know that we are sitting in front of a camera with one of our lovely residents to talk about the things that interest them, talk about their past. It's going to be fun. So make sure we're going to air that around 7:30. So make sure you stay on air at 7:30 so that you can witness the inaugural The Person I've Always Been interview with Gail Banter, one of our residents at Pacifica Forest Trace. And this is going to give you a glimpse into what it's like to live in one of our communities and the kind of resident that we cater to. We cater to residents that not only that need assistance, obviously with assisted living, people know that, right? I need assistance with bathing or med management. Most people know that assisted living helps you with things. But what people don't know is independent living provides security. It provides peace of mind that most people are not familiar with. Hey, Sunny. Sunny Netto is joining us. So good to see your face. I can see your little face down there. Hey, girl. But yeah, so independent living is one of those things that people are not as educated about. And that's our goal. We want you to know that you have a resource that can give you a little bit more of an edge in your retirement years. So for those who maybe you're tired of paying an HOA fee, or you're tired of the upkeep, or cooking for yourself, or not having that social piece, that's one of the things you're going to hear from Gail in her interview, is how important that was been, especially during this COVID time. I don't think we've quite been able to calculate how impactful being in your own house and away from everyone has been to older people. And that is what independent living allows, is for that little extra living on a cruise ship kind of feel. All right. So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more, and we are then going to show that person I've always been. But for now, we are going to go to commercial, and we will be right back. Pacifica Senior Living is proud to do what we love and truly believe in providing compassionate, personalized care that ensures dignity and respect for all of our residents. We'd love for you to join the Pacifica Senior Living family and settle into one of our senior living communities here in sunny South Florida that will have you or your loved ones enjoying your retirement years to the fullest. Contact us today to join the Pacifica Senior Living family. We can't wait to welcome you home. Call 954-543-0773. You're watching Pacifica Live. Dial 866-224-5422 to join in on the fun. All right, and we are back. Guys, I don't know if you've noticed down at the bottom of the screen, you keep seeing a phone number pop up, and that is that 888-565-1470. That is for you to call in to talk to me or to tell me about what you got going on. This is an interactive radio show. This is an interactive Facebook Live, by the way, for any of you who are watching on the radio and you're like, what is she talking about? This also is on Facebook Live. It's on some other podcast avenues as well, too. So it's a very, very multifaceted delivery to all of you so that you can get in contact with me. But for right now, you can call me at 888-565-1470. I'd love to hear your voice. I'd love for you to introduce yourself, and I'd love to hear where you're calling from. So make sure you do that in about 10 minutes. Or no, right now, within this 10 minutes, I want to get one caller. So if one of you could please, I'm begging you. I'm lonely. We don't have a guest today. I need to talk to somebody. It can't just be me talking, which it often is. Ask my husband. Anyway, so I know you guys saw that commercial with all of our beautiful properties. So you've got Forest Trace, you've got Sunrise, you've got Lantana, you've got Palm Beach, and obviously we've got two different counties going on here, right? You've got Broward County and you've got Palm Beach. But guys, what is so interesting about South Florida, which is common in a lot of places that have neighboring counties that do a lot of business together, people that live in one county work in the other, that's what happens here. So most of our residents, many of our residents actually lived in Boca and Delray. We have someone actually coming from Boynton Beach tomorrow. So this is a very, very common occurrence that we're doing business across county lines. So it's only fitting that Pacifica would have a footprint in both counties to be a full footprint right here in South Florida. Now, we don't have communities in Dade, but that's okay because Broward is very, very close to Dade, and our Brookdale Sunrise and our Brookdale Forest Trace. Oh, did I say Brookdale? Am I saying Brookdale? I'm so sorry, guys. Obviously, there are no Brookdale properties in Broward County anymore except for one, Pacifica. Please forgive me. It is Monday. I promise you, I work for Pacifica. Pacifica. I work for Pacifica. Pacifica Sunrise, Pacifica Forest Trace. Can we repeat that one more time? Say it with me, folks. Pacifica Sunrise, Pacifica Forest Trace. Okay? Do you understand? Doesn't work very well to brand things if you don't call them by the right name. All right. So again, if any of you want to help my loneliness and my mental state right now, you will call 888-565-1470. You don't have to be on camera. You're just on the phone. So call and talk to me, okay? All righty. Also, I wanted to talk about at Pacifica Forest Trace. We today had our dining room grand reopening. I think we have a picture of that. Right? Yay! And it was complete with the violinist. We'll show you some video on our next show of how that went, but it had a violinist roaming around the dining area, and the residents were so happy to be able to get back and sit with their friends. Obviously, we know that the vaccines have gone over swimmingly, and so our residents are feeling very good about coming back to some sort of state of normal. Of course, everything's not normal yet. We understand that. We live in the United States of America where things are slowly but surely progressing. And so our residents were able to experience a little bit of that progress with our grand reopening. It says opening, but it's a reopening of our dining room. And now they have been able to go in, but obviously they've been doing a different kind of seating, different kind of timing, and now things are kind of getting to normal. So that was really, really exciting to see the residents so happy to be able to sit with their friends at the dining room table and enjoy each other and feel some normalcy again. So thank you so much for that. Alrighty. Now, guys, I wanted to talk a little bit more about the person I've always been, the segment that's going to be airing soon. One of the things that we find a lot of times when people are talking about senior living is, again, you'll hear them say, I'm not ready for that yet. And I think it's really important for people to be educated about what it means to be ready for senior living, namely independent living. Whenever I hear someone say, I'm not ready for that yet, my heart goes out to them because they don't understand that what you're looking to do is not wait for that event to happen, wait till you no longer can be at home. You need to be making proactive moves to move to a community that's going to suit you right now, that's going to allow you to continue to do the things that you love to do. If you like to hop in your car and go for a joyride, you want to still be able to do that, knowing that you're going to come back to a place that's done the light housekeeping for you, to a place that has provided your meals a day, a couple meals a day for you, that's provided the social interaction with other people like you, that's provided a community that caters to you, even when it comes to the programming, that, hey, I love art. They're going to start developing things that are art focused, or you may run into other people that love art too, or you may run into someone that didn't do art and now you can help them do it. That kind of thing normally only happens kind of when you're in high school, right? High school, college. Once you leave those things and become an adult, a lot of times your circle starts to get really small, and the things that you're accustomed to doing start to wane, and you're going to work and you're coming home. You're going to work and you're coming home. One of the really cool things about independent living, especially because you're retired now, is you're able to be in a place where everybody is looking to have fun. You wake up every day looking to connect with other people that are wanting to enjoy their years. And we're talking about not their last final years, their years ahead of them. These people have 25 plus years ahead of them, but they want to live it in security. They want to live it with a peace of mind, also for their families, to know that they are somewhere where if something did happen to them, that they are in a place where they can transition into assisted living. Or if there were diagnoses of some sort of dementia, that there's that peace of mind knowing that there are people there that they can see what's happening and they can provide those resources to you or your family to help take care of you in your later years. So this is a really, really important conversation that I don't think we've had lately because of coronavirus. We haven't talked about putting those things in place and being proactive instead of waiting for an event to happen, waiting for a fall, waiting for the diagnosis of something, waiting until you're not able to care for your own medicine anymore, waiting until you leave the stove on while you're cooking and the house catches on fire, that kind of thing. We don't want to wait for those things to happen. We want to be proactive and take advantage of the resources that we have in front of us right now. And there are so many different communities. Let me put that out there. We have some lovely, lovely senior living communities here in South Florida. We are very, very fortunate to have an inventory of places that do some of those same things. And it's really important that you discover which one is the best for you. So that's why you go on the tour. That's why you attend the events that are hosted. That's why you call and you do your research. And if you need help with that, that's what we're here for. We're going to put that phone number up that you can call me. Actually, you can call me at 954-773-5860 if you ever have any senior living questions, and I'll connect you to the resources, whether that be a Pacifica resource or one of our community partners. But we have a caller on the line. Yay, Sunny Netto!
How are you doing, Melinda?
I'm doing great, love. So good to hear your voice.
I know yours too. You do such a great job, and let me tell you, you're doing it. You really are. You're doing a great job at branding Pacifica, and all of the properties that we have in Broward and up here in our county. And so yeah, thank you for mentioning. If people don't know, I am the Community Relations Director at the Meridian at Lantana in Lantana, Florida.
Yeah, thank you for that. Thank you for mentioning in that. That's one of the things that a lot of times when I'm branding Pacifica, I give everyone a swathing Pacifica title, but actually Lantana is a Meridian at Lantana, a Pacifica property. So thank you for that, Sunny. Mm-hmm. Talk to us a little bit about what's going on in Lantana. What's exciting? What's new?
Well, we're very excited. We have renovations going on, and we are renovating our apartments right now, and we are building our brand new memory care that we're really, really excited about. And as you know, that's my kind of my specialty. After
Yes.
working in Alzheimer's assisted living for 8.5 years. I am really excited about that. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be affordable. Got some shared rooms that'll be available as well. And so we're excited about that. That's phase one. And included in that is we're going to have some ADA apartments built, American Disabilities Act approved. So we're doing that. Phase two is going to finish off the building and all the corridors and the rest, the from top to bottom, from ceilings and lighting to flooring and paint, and so that's going to be a welcome refresher for our community. Although our community is beautiful as it is,
Right.
I think it's one of the oldest ones. It is. We've been around probably for around 40 years, and it's one big all wooden building. But I love it, and it's comfy and cozy, not too big, not too small, and that's how I brand our community. Being from Kansas, I really appreciate the. I don't know. It's different. It's got a different feel. I appreciate the design.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the things that, I like about Pacifica too, is that the communities that are in our wheelhouse, our inventory, are all so very different, like you said. So you've got Forest Trace that has grand, luxurious, sprawling paths, and then you've got Lantana, like you said, the cozy, the comfort, so just really, truly something for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
And Sunny, what's a good number for people to reach you if they would like to tour Lantana?
You can reach us at 561-965-7200. Again, that's 561-965-7200. Or my cell number is 561-323-3147.
Awesome. Sunny, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And again, guys, this is what I mean about wanting all of our Pacifica associates to be able to chime in and talk more about their communities, even way better than I can, because obviously I will call them Brookdales. So did you hear me do that, Sunny?
I did.
Oh, gosh. Why didn't anyone stop me?
Hey, it happens. It happens.
So I really do appreciate you calling in, Sunny, and I would love to have you in studio so people could see your beautiful face, because guys, she's such a doll.
Aww.
So you do need to see her face. But I thank you so much for calling in, and the number again that you can reach her, 561-965-7200, or her cell. What was that again, Sunny?
561-323-3147.
Call her today. Schedule your tour. See all of the upgrades that are happening over at Meridian at Lantana, a Pacifica property.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you so much.
No, thank you, Sunny. We'll talk soon. Bye.
We're lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Alrighty, bye. Oh, yay! Round of applause for Sunny Netto. I love her so much. She's been in this industry for a long time, and she's got such a way with people. So you will definitely want to reach out to her and take that tour if you yourself or your loved one, you have any needs, and especially if you're in that Lantana area, you want to make sure you go by and check that out. Okay? Alrighty. Woo! That was awesome. Thank you again, Sunny. That gave me all of the boost I needed on this lovely Monday. Someone said it was like a full moon kind of day. And Bill, our regional vice president of sales and marketing, says, well, it's daytime, so it's more like a full sun. It's been that kind of day today, a full sun kind of day. Real quick, I'm sorry. This is so funny. I needed to share this with as many people as possible. So for those of you who know me, you know that I have a 20-year-old daughter and an 18-year-old son, and my son is a card. His name is Aiden. He's great. And many times he will call me on my stuff, right? And so I was telling him to reach out to these employers and to call them and email them and never let up because the squeaky wheel gets the oil, Aiden. And he said, it also can get removed. I've never, ever heard that as a retort to that ever in my life. So just side note, guys, just remember that. The squeaky wheel gets the oil, but it also could get removed and replaced. So mark your words very carefully. That was my wisdom for today. Alrighty, which is a great segue into the person I've always been as we are shown the wisdom of Gail Bancher, a 10-year resident at Pacifica Forest Race. Play the video.
I'm Gail Banter.
Now, and Gail, would you mind sharing how many times you've been around the sun? Is that, do we ask?
No. I'm proud of every year.
Yes.
I gained. I will be 83 this year.
83.
But remember one thing, my child, the soul never gets old. It's only the wrinkles. But it is very important that people will know that even though someone looks like a real has-been, there is that old person is still lurking inside, asking for expression, and we should really acknowledge it because there are societies that really hold the aged with great respect, yes. And there are societies that are very consumeristic and so on, and yes. Suddenly they make a lot of older people feel like a used diaper, pardon my grossing, like disposables. And I think that we have to start a new thinking, that people can be creative, people can work in the government and lead the whole nation, even after the age of 70.
Yes,
definitely.
You've lived here at Forest Race for how long?
I'm here about 10 years.
10 years? Were you originally here in the Broward area before you moved in? Or?
Actually, I was in Boca Raton.
Okay.
I lived in a big, sprawly house.
Uh-huh.
The country club lifestyle.
Nice.
And then I decided that maybe I should change my whole direction in life as I was growing older. And I think today, in retrospect, that it was the best decision I've ever made.
Really?
Because going through the COVID era, surrounded by my friends, and we are such a tight group of people, compared to knocking about alone in a big house, that's when you decide that, wealthy is not really always a balm to your source. The warmth and the friendship is becoming a real, a real element in your life.
It is. That's you start to understand what's important.
I'm starting to think that senior residences are really the direction that our society, especially here in Florida, and you see they're popping up. I think that's the direction that it's going to go, because you have theater, you have swimming pool, tennis, you have bicycling, you have a lake, you have everything that a senior needs concentrated in a small area,
right.
And it answers so many needs.
Right. And I know for you in your apartment here, you've been able to make this your own little space as well. You've got your office, you do your writing, you relax it, you're comfortable
It's
here.
my little haven, it's my little executive retreat. And believe me, I'm a person who needs a place to create. I need a place to sit and think up a poem, because I like writing poetry and I publish poetry.
Right.
And I need the quiet, the serenity, the music in the background, the ambiance.
Yeah. And speaking of your poetry, you actually have written and published books since you've been here at Pacifica Forest.
Just in the last couple of years, in the COVID era, I wrote a book called Cloister Oyster. which explains to the world why I'm so suited to monastic life, if you call it a monastic life. And it's just a book about everyday life occurrences and how you can look at them from a totally different vantage point and make them alive and so on. It's connectable.
Right.
And then I wrote a book called Epiphany and Tiffany. It's a lot of it is the women's movement, Me Too, you know, and this woman has an epiphany. It's in the middle of Tiffany's, where she decided, I don't want to be an arm candy anymore. I want to be me at any cost. Let me be free. I'm not just a blonde with a mink coat.
Right. I love that. And is that a fictional novel?
It's also a book of verse.
Okay.
I just write poetry.
Okay.
But that was
And tell the story.
the epiphany
Yes.
was that, and that after that I started the whole book, but that gave me the little launch for the book.
Right.
And then I wrote, in the COVID time, I wrote, this book is called The Happiness Chromosome,
Yes,
which
I
became a pivotal belief of mine, that you can manufacture happiness under the oddest conditions.
Yes,
Yeah. People ask me, is it that you see the glass half full all the time and I see the glass half empty? I said, no, I see the glass refillable all the time.
I love it.
You go to the bar and say, give me a refill. You can always start fresh again. Every day can be the beginning of a new experience. And because of that, and we have that ability to rebuild again,
Yes.
and recreate and reinvent ourselves,
Right.
and come up with a person we didn't even know was inside us.
Right.
I have not changed. I was a teacher and a public speaker, a motivational speaker. My theme used to be how to be a successful divorcee, how to be a successful retiree, and even the process of easing into death can be pleasant if you know how to make it so. It does not need to be fraught with horrendous, horrible things. It's all an approach and preparation and discipline.
Yes, that is so wonderful.
Yes.
That is such a beautiful way
It
to
is.
think.
People are starting to think now
Yeah.
in a direction, because don't forget, we live to such a longer age than our forefather did.
Right.
You know, the average lifespan has changed, and with it, the demands for a new attitude, maybe.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So right.
Yeah.
Now, I know during your time you've done a lot of traveling,
Oh, yes.
and your apartment is filled with African art. So tell us a little bit about your travels.
Well, actually, I graduated my first love, which is a long story, and I won't belabor you with it, but it was Japanese. I was enamored with the whole thing Japanese, and I went to school. When I was young, I drew Japanese pictures, and there's no television, no books, and a kindergarten teacher asked my mother, how come all the children grow trees that the branches go up, and mine, the branches went down. And when I grew older, I was fascinated with the Japanese art, with everything, with the attention to detail, with the whole Japanese thinking, the societal thinking. So I went to school and I got a degree in Chinology, and I went to Japan to write a thesis about the Taiwanese brinkmanship, which started in 1938 when Chiang Kai-shek left China to create Taiwan.
Okay. How old were you then?
I was younger, much younger. I was in my late 20s.
So
Yeah.
you've gotten a chance. So after doing some studying abroad,
Right.
where after that?
I came back, and after a few years I landed up in America, starting again, starting fresh again. I came to Fort Lauderdale and I sampled everything that everybody else who comes to Fort Lauderdale
Right.
samples, the market.
Right.
But I was very upmarket. I landed up with a company in the floral industry, international floral industry, just like FTD.
Okay.
I got the Canadian markets because I knew Canada. Like, I think in 3 days I learned to speak flowers. Like I was a horticulturalist all my life.
Right.
And I knew nothing about flowers. And I became the marketing director. So we had to do a lot of really high-class deals.
Right.
And I learned my way and I climbed the corporate rungs.
Okay.
And I made it.
And now, obviously, we hear your beautiful accent.
Oh my
And-
God. I'll never get
No, it's
rid of it.
beautiful. Don't ever lose it. Where is it rooted in?
Well, I was born in Israel. My parents spoke Hungarian. And part of that is probably embedded in there because a lot of people ask me, are you Hungarian by any chance? And I'm really Israeli with a Hungarian accent.
When did you leave Israel?
I left Israel in the 60s.
Okay.
And my parents left Israel before the 60s. The relatives were here and they're calling them to be with them in New York. And I did not want to leave Israel. I was a child of 17
Right.
with a boyfriend and the army beckoned me. I thought what an adventure it would be to go to the Israeli army and learn to shoot guns. And so I remained. And when I finished my army duty, got married, and we were going to have a family, we traveled to Canada. My husband finished his PhD in social psychology. We lived, but the accent never left me.
Right.
And I thought maybe after a few years, I'll become more Americanized, but it's a stamp,
That's good. That's good. That's your piece that no one can take away from you.
And it's hard to lose because in our language, we don't have long vowels.
Right.
It's a clipped language like French.
Right.
If you speak French and you try to learn English, you will never speak American like an American.
And that's because of the clip versus the
Yes,
elongated.
yes, it's a very short, like you can't say the word read, you say read.
Right.
You don't have the long I
Right.
or the double E.
Right.
So it is such an adjustment, and the lilt and the pitch. And another thing, you learned to speak English phonetically. You heard it, and so there was only one way for you to say it. We learn it from books, and the books don't tell you how to pronounce it. When you see the word Shakespeare, you really see Shakespeare.
Ah.
You don't see Shakespeare,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have no idea if you learn the language visibly, visually,
Right.
you don't know exactly what is the proper, for instance, yesterday I was struggling with the word. When you covet something,
You got that. Yes.
okay, but when you look at something in a covetic way,
Covetousness. Yes.
covetousness, I
Yes.
could not, for the life of me, say covetousness.
Covetousness. That is too funny.
Yeah, and then when you get older, and there comes a day that you start reaching for a word, and your brain says no go, and then you start really trying to connect things in a certain way, so you'll be still talking without falling all over yourself.
Right.
And it happens, believe me,
Well,
to anybody.
I love the way that you speak.
Thank you.
And I look forward to being able to delve more into the happiness chromosome. I think we all need a little happiness right now.
Thank you.
And of course, your beautiful apartment. I love the modern-esque vibe and feel. It's just relaxed.
I'm crazy about tribal art, as
Yeah.
you can see.
Yes, I know. I love it. I think it's, I mean, you got things on the door, you got things up on the credenza here and everywhere. It's such a lively place. Like it breathes life.
Thank
into
you. Thank
a
you so
space.
much.
So, Gail, thank you so much for agreeing to sit down with us today, and we look forward to talking to you more.
Thank you for visiting with me. It's always a pleasure
Aw,
to see you here.
Thank you so much. You're watching Pacifica Live. Dial 866-224-5422 to join in on the fun. We're back. So, what did you guys think of the person I've always been? What did you think of Gail Banter? Comments below. Call 888-565-1470. I would love to hear the little tidbits maybe you picked up from some of her wisdom, some of the cool things that we discovered about her, like she was in the Israeli army. The fact that she's written 3 books of poetry since she's been at Pacifica Forest Trace. To me, that is such a picture. Yes, Sunny, yeah, great advice. She gives great advice. But the fact that she continues to be her true creative self, the person she's always been, is exactly what independent living does, is exactly what independent provides, is that opportunity for you just to focus on you being who you've always been. One of the things that you heard Gail talk about was the Happiness Chromosome, which is the last book that she just wrote and published. And she is going to actually join us for every show for about 5 minutes. She'll be sharing a piece of one of her works, voicing it over for us. And I'm really excited to share that with you guys because I've had the opportunity to read her writing. And this stuff is current. A lot of times you think about what somebody wrote or writes that's older, and you think that maybe their worldview is dated. Like they're dated, right? But they're not dated. They are still living in this current world right now. So she has one that's called I think it's like the elbow something, where it talks about how we greet each other with the elbow now. It talks about COVID and coronavirus things, and they're always cutesy and they're always enlightening, and they're poetry. The fact that she's able to take all of these ideas that she has and put them into poetry is a lot different than, writing an editorial about something. You have to be creative enough to put it into rhyming, into pattern. So I think you guys are going to really enjoy the presentation by Gail Banter every single show. For about 5 minutes, it will be called the Happiness Chromosome. Just saying, I think it's pretty cool that one of our residents is able to contribute so much. She talked about the different cultures, right? And how there are some cultures, some societies that hold their aged in high regard. These are the people that are actually leading the country. These are the people that actually create everything that you do, and you honor them. And then you have other societies, those that will remain nameless, that don't necessarily honor the aged, that don't understand that they are the pillars to everything that we have actually done, and that they still are creative contributors to our world and to our lives. And so I want this to be an opportunity for us to spotlight them, to highlight them. People like Gail Banter that are creating works of art. We have artists that live at Pacifica Forest Trace. We have people that are doctors that know a lot about science and can have intelligent conversations with you regarding current day events and current day topics. So very, very, very excited to have brought you the person I've always been. That is our new series. You will see that at least once a month because obviously you're sitting there, you are interviewing the person, you're editing it. So it's a little bit time intensive, but it's so worth it. And again, with Gail being able to showcase her book, The Happiness Chromosome, it is 2021, and we all need a little bit of happiness. So I hope that you got a chance to enjoy that. If you did not, I forgive you. You just have to go back and rewatch all of it. I know that it was 15 minutes, but guys, we watch television shows that are 30 and 45 minutes and an hour. You can sit through 15 minutes to honor our older citizens of the United States, our older citizens at Pacifica Forest Trace or Pacifica Sunrise or the Meridian at Lantana, a Pacifica community, or Pacifica Palm Beach. We have not necessarily the mark at the corner on our residents who are lively and creative, but we definitely have some unique people, as unique as each community that Pacifica boasts of here in South Florida. So again, if you could please share this video, share this live that you're watching right now with everyone that you know. I want other people to see Gail's story, to be able to hear and learn from her wisdom. I love that while we were in the middle of the interview, she said, "But remember this, my child." And I just got like these feelings of like true endearment because she was taking her time to give me wisdom. I appreciate that so much. And I think more of us should appreciate the people that have lived on this earth longer than we have. They've had experiences different from us, but many times some of the same, and they've learned from them the way that we're going to be learning from them, and we get a chance to stand on their shoulders, right? I think that's exciting. And maybe I'm kind of geeking out about it because, I'm in senior living. But I find so much value outside of what we do to protect our residents and serve our residents and care for them. We get an opportunity to come up alongside them and learn from them. Is nobody else excited about that? You got to get excited about that because that's probably what's actually missing from our culture right now is we put so much value into youth. And not that youth is bad, right? I would love to smooth out this neck a little bit and get rid of some of the bags that are happening. Because did I tell you I'm 40 now? Yeah. But that's because we put such a value on youth. But the real value, it's like what Gail was talking about, was she appreciates every single year, every trip around the sun that she's had. She is blessed to have them and she gains so much from them. So again, please share this video. I'll repeat that again. Share this to your friends, share this to different groups. You do not want to miss the next person I've always been. We have another resident we're going to be spotlighting. And then again, every other Monday, we are here at 7 p.m. and you'll get a chance to hear poetry from Gail Banter's book, The Happiness Chromosome. I'm very, very excited about that. Again, if you have not toured a Pacifica community, of course, you can call the individual buildings. That is fine. Or you can also reach me on my cell phone, 954-773-5860, and I'd be happy to connect you with any one of our communities and set up a tour for you. And just so you know, on our next show, we will ensure that you've got all of those phone numbers listed here at the bottom of the screen. This is actually our second episode, so we're kind of still getting our water legs here. And I don't know if that actually applies since we're not on a boat. I think I just want to be on a boat right now, be on a cruise. But no, we're still getting our legs. So we're really, really excited that you're able to join us at all, whether you're joining us on the radio or you're joining us here on Facebook Live, or you're watching this after the fact because someone shared this video and you got a chance to see the person I've always been, or you got a chance to see our last guest from Pedigo Bicycles who had William Shatner as their spokesperson. Again, little plug for them. Make sure you go to Pedigo Bicycles. That's P-E-D-E-G-O. Here in Boca Raton. They have a really exciting event. You're going to get a chance to test some of those electric motorcycles. They're not motorcycles. They're electric bikes. They're motor pedal assist bicycles. And by the way, they were designed with baby boomers in mind, which is why we had them on the show, because we're very like-minded in that we're wanting to provide other avenues for our older people to be able to experience fun. And that's actually their thing, hello fun. When you walk in the store, they say, hello fun. It doesn't make sense on paper, but it makes so much sense when you walk into their store. So March 13th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., you want to make sure you go to their event. And I would be remiss if I did not mention our event. If we could get that flyer back on the screen, the St. Patty's Day event flyer back on the screen, Freddie. So that is on Wednesday, March 17th You want to make sure that you RSVP for that. You can dial 954-543-1330 to RSVP for your fish and chips, shepherd's pie, and whiskey bread pudding, and all of the little goodies that we're going to be giving away with that. I started to digress a little bit because I was really talking about older people, but all of it all fits. Just remember, it's all a circle and it all fits. All righty. It is Monday. I hope you guys have had an amazing Monday, regardless of the non-existent full moon, because I don't think it's a full moon. But I talked to a lot of people who had very different days today, but the day is over and we're going to wake up again in the morning, Lord willing, and we're going to do this all over again, and we're going to do it even better. So just going back to Gail Banter, because I loved interviewing her. I loved editing that video because I got a chance to see her talk about this stuff over and over again. There was some stuff that was cut out you didn't even get a chance to see. I'm kind of special, so I got a chance to see it. But I love her saying that some people say that the glass is half full. Some people say it's half empty, but it's neither. It's actually refillable. And she gave me that imagery of being able to go back to the bartender and refill that drink. And that's how we should see life. It's not half empty. It's not half full. It is refillable. I actually toyed with calling this segment that we now are going to call The Person I've Always Been. I toyed with calling it The Refillable Cup. Who knows? Maybe we may do another segment that's along those lines. I love catchy names to things. So anyway, if you're still watching, if you're still listening, you can still dial 888-565-1470. We got about 5 minutes before we sign off. I just did want to mention just one more time that we are hosting the St. Patty's event on Wednesday, the 17th. I keep wanting to say September, and I don't know why. It's probably because I need coffee or sleep. One of the two. One keeps you up. One lets you rest. Well, we will have a DJ to set the mood, and we're partnering with TrustBridge and First Atlantic, as well as WellCare Rehab, which is actually a great segue. I learned some things now that I'm at Pacifica Forest Trace. I'm housed there, and I'm learning so many things because that community has been around for a long time, and it has become a staple to that community, the Inverary community. They have WellCare Rehab as well as comprehensive home health that have been in that building for about 20 years. And what they do is they help to support our independent living residents. So we have assisted living. We have our awesome nurse Pearl. She's our resident services director that takes care of all things nursing in our building. And then we use our rehab partners and we use our home health to help support our independent living residents that continue to live in independent living and aging in place. And of course, we still have assisted living there for them. But I love the fact that we've got tried and true partners there at Forest Trace that are helping our residents to live full, dignified lives, right? All right. Well, guys, I'm going to go get ready to sign off. I don't know if you can hear the tiredness in my voice, and you're probably tired of hearing my voice. I promise you we'll have a guest next time, and you don't have to hear me blab on for the whole hour. I promise. Okay. Well, guys, this has been Pacifica Live. I am your host, Melinda Pollard. Thank you guys so much for joining in, and thank you again in advance for sharing this video. And then we will see you not next Monday, but the following Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, or you'll hear us on the radio. Have a great night, guys. Bye.
Welcome to Pacifica Senior Living Forest Trace, a senior community offering independent living and assisted living services in South Florida. Escape the ordinary and discover affordable luxury senior living in an exclusive lifestyle.
I see the sign, I make a turn, and all of a sudden I'm in beautiful gardens. It was sort of a hidden oasis.
My first impression of Pacifica Senior Living at Forest Trace was one of profound natural beauty.
The apartment has all the specifics anybody would ever think of for a kitchen, washer and dryer. The view from its balcony is unbelievable. The food here is equal to whatever anybody could ever expect in a fine restaurant.
There is something for everyone.
We are Broward County's only true resort-style campus community with 72 acres. We have a full range of amenities from our clubhouse to our Olympic-sized pool to our putting green to our 150-seat theater. There's truly something here for every resident to enjoy themselves throughout the day.
We are very fortunate that we have assisted living if needed.
I'm now 80, and I'm going to need those services. And I think that's terribly important because we are a family here.
Everyone is professional and they have a positive attitude.
How often is it you have a job where you really look forward to arriving at work? I usually come in and start with a walk through the dining room, meeting with the residents and speaking to the activities that we enjoyed the night before.
I feel we're alive, we're vibrant, and very much at peace and very happy here, so I made the right choice.
You've been listening to Pacifica Live. Join us every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Call 954-543-0773 to schedule your tour at a Pacifica